Hey, this is Nick, aka Bud Nixon, and this is a quick wrap-up video on one of the latest projects that I've done on a Snowcat restoration. This is a Frandee SnoShu Model E. I was told this is a late 40s, early 50s model, and this is the quick recap on what's been done and what it is. So basically this is a for sale video, I guess. So for anybody interested, feel free to contact me via social media or comments here and I'll get back to you. But for now, let's go do a little walk around and see what we got done. So as I mentioned, this is a late 40s, early 50s. The exact year it was manufactured or made is unknown on this specific one, because this was a restoration done by two different people. Started with Bill Guthrie. He's the OG of the Snowcat restorations and Snowcat sales period in North America. It was passed on to me through another friend of ours after Bill had passed from a heart attack and he wasn't able to finish it. So this is Frandee SnoShu Model E. It's one of a kind Snowcat. It uses a 4x4 system. It uses Ford powertrain, and I believe those are GM axles. They're like a dually size, basically rear ends, one in the front, one in the back. So this is a four-wheel drive Frandee, as a lot of the Frandees were only two-wheel drive, and does utilize wooden tracks. As you look in the side of the tracks, you will see that the tracks have been loosened up for the time being while it's not in use. So it's kind of sagging between the idler and the front and rear wheels, and then basically you apply the tension in the back to get the tension right for it to be able to be used in the snow. I myself used this Snowcat this past winter. I put about close to 70 hours of use time to it, and it has performed quite well. So for engine, this uses, I believe it's a 213 CID. This is restored an original engine. It has run to me just fine. Yes, there's a rust on it or whatnot, but it has been done quite well. So I've replaced the so the carburetor I've replaced. So this is a brand new carburetor. It's been tuned to run quite well around 5,000 feet elevation with a newer alternator. Everything else is fan and a radiator I've replaced, and that's the radiator and fan switch here that controls when it turns on for the fan. It does run cool. When I operated it, I've run it with these sides open just to keep cooling to even better. But this radiator size was meant to be used on the larger V8 blocks to keep them cool. So I think for this inline 6 it does quite fine. Tires are all in a good shape. No rips or issues, no air leaks. Right, so ground up restoration for the tracks. So tracks are all pretty much, you could say, you can call them brand new, I guess. I've utilized a hickory. This is hickory hardwood. Every other or so track was engraved also with the logo. 3-door setup. I've installed a step, an extra one. It does have a hitch in the back. So that was done, and we're going into the jerry cans in the back. I thought those were well worth it for the extra fuel to make sure that backup light here. Now all lights surrounding, so I have these marker lights, reds on the corners and then ambers in the front, right? Custom made, obviously, the ladder with the rack to carry the extra gear. Rear benches. They were made to basically be able to sit 2 people here, 2 people there, so 4 passengers, 2 in the front, so technically 6 people with all the gearing on the floor. Let's get inside. So the front bench seat is, I was told, like a Hong Kong style ferry, where depending which direction you're going, you can flip the seat back and forth. And in my case, I just made it so I think it makes sense when you're sitting in a cat and want to have some tea or some other kind of a drink, if you prefer, with your company in a heated cab while it's winter outside. Will be quite comfortable. So the rear seats, they go up all the way. If you wanted to do it this way, they're chain link connection. So if you were to take the chain off, the seat will actually drop all the way. So by disconnecting the chain, the seat drops all the way down to the floor. So with that idea in mind, I have another chain link connection here in the front, that in case if you're going to be using it for more heavy set, I guess, passengers. In my case, I've tried 2 guys without any problems there. So again, this is maple and walnut, and this is all walnut dashboard. So laser engraved on the windshield, and most of the windows has the Frandee on there. Dash was laser engraved and CNC cut to fit all the stuff. So we have these are markers, low beam, high beam, interior lights, track lights, and a rear light. 3 switches, USB charger, and your regular 12-volt output. You have the heater control, the black knob, and then the choke pull on the left, and that's the actual heater underneath there. That's aftermarket. The factory unit was not good enough to be reused, so I just ended up using this one. And then you have the fuse panel here that has everything that you need to know, because it is customized for this cat. So you see that every circuit is assigned on a faceplate there, with every fuse rated to what it's supposed to be doing. Was professionally wired up, and this thing is pretty much done. So interior lighting, and I'm not sure, put this guy in here with the windshield wiper controller here. As I said, everything is functional, everything is working. So in consideration of the age of the machine and the rarity of it, I've set price about $75K for starting, considering, like I said, how much time has been put into it as far as all the work being done. Condition of the tracks, obviously they're being new, and more or less everything's been gone through and everything's been redone and taken care of. And this machine is basically ready for another 30 years of use, with considerable proper maintenance and storage when it's off season. But this is more or less, I mean, this cat can be used pretty much on a daily, for cabin access or anything. But I honestly truly believe that this machine really deserves to be somewhere in in a collection or in a museum, more or less, considering its rarity and its just uniqueness. So for anybody interested, give me a contact, holler on either social media through Bud Nixon Instagram or YouTube here, or you can find me on Facebook on the groups, or basically if you YouTube Bud Nixon and Frandee SnoShu Restoration, you will see I think I have about 12 episodes of the restoration on this cat as well. So for any other questions, feel free to contact me. Other than that, good luck to anybody who finds this machine to be the one they want to use. Take care.